So basically, that's what I have been doing. And all through my experience, I experienced a dramatic change in the game industry. First of all, the size of the game industry. Like I mentioned, if you see the right bottom graph, in 2015, blue is the movie and the orange is the game. But game industry far exceeds the market size, and it's still growing. So millennials, the people who will come into the market as a consumer and also a creator, the first media that will probably come into their mind is the games. So we have to use this powerful media as well as powerful mechanics that is the backbone of this media in a good way. So I know students here are from all over the place, and if you're interested, on the right hand top part, it shows where are the big markets and emerging markets. And Asia APAC is big and still growing big. And also we see countries like Latin America and also Africa to emerge as well in the near future. So the market is growing, but the capability and the capacity, potential capacity, is still bigger. So probably game industry will get bigger and bigger and bigger. So with this large market and the power of game design and game mechanics, I like to talk about the history of games beyond entertainment. So market increase, and also another important change is how people see games. This is very important. For example, in old days, entertainment education, usually referred to as like edutainment, and Sesame Street is one of the known edutainment field. And gaming and simulation did not mix together. Game was thought as purely entertainment. Edutainment, although it has some entertainment word attached, but still education. Nothing really intersected or mixed. But we start seeing in the early 2000s that off-the-shelf games that were created as an education software to be used outside of games. Hey, we're using Nintendo DS, which is the off-the-shelf game device, but we're using this in a public school environment as an education tool. So this is where it really started intersecting and where academic research really came in. So if you look at the year that Nintendo DS came into the market, that's 2004. And Nintendo Wii came into the market in 2006. And first Serious Games Summit was held in the same year, 2004. And also with that first summit, serious games terms came into the market strongly. And 2004, I think, is a tipping point for this serious games and gamification trend. Because before 2004, fun and entertainment in education, but not on game machines or using game design elements. But after serious games terminology came in to the market in the year 2004, now we see games and game design elements starting to be used in serious domains, first in education, then in healthcare, then it goes to advertisement, and now we see that everywhere. Okay, so today I'll drill into the terms of serious games and gamification, and under these serious games and gamification, there are several types. How do we classify them? Where is the new type coming from? So these are the things that I'd like to talk later in my lecture today. So again, just to reinforce what I just mentioned here, two big changes. Game market really growing big, as well as notion of people about games is changing dramatically. This is a very good example, which my friend Professor Toru Fujimoto from Tokyo University, by the way, he will be here in about maybe next week. Yes. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, this is a good illustration of the people's notion change. It's the same publisher, NHK Publishing. In year 2002, they published a book saying, sorry, this is in Japanese, saying, games damage your brain. Okay? Same publisher in 2012, 10 years later, if you use game mechanics, game elements, everything goes well. Right, big change, right? Same publisher. No offense, okay? It shows how our society have changed about the perception of games, because they started to understand elements and the mechanics. That's not something to blame for. It's a powerful tool. Why don't we use it and design it in a better way? Again, the government starts thinking. I mentioned that from 2007 to 2009, Ministry of Education started thinking, hey, this is a potential area of academic field which they should drill in. And same thing, President Obama, he had a National STEM Video Game Challenge, as well as Games for Impact Consortium. And it all started with his very epic speech on March 2011. He said, I'm calling for investments in educational technology that will help create educational software that's as compelling as the best video game. Video games, let's just take out the video. Games are very powerful vehicle. So I want you guys to be stuck on a video game that's teaching you something other than just blowing something up. And games are not just about teaching, right? It's immersive, so people may not think they're taught, but in the end can change their behavior. And also, this is the Japanese government, Ministry of Defense. Ministry of Defense Japan has launched a serious games research project in year 2013, hoping to attract and recruit talented young candidates who will in the future work in the cybersecurity team. So our next generation, millennials, games are the #1 media, right? So, serious games and gamification, is that really something new? I think everybody knows this game, right? Monopoly. It's a old games. In 1904, designed by Elizabeth McGee. Actually, I didn't know that. But we still see today new versions come out. And basically through this game, we learn many things about owning a land and some economical elements. But this is a good example where we're using the off-the-shelf games, but maybe in an education way. And also, another example, does everyone know War Games movie? This is quite an old movie. That's when still Russia was a Soviet Union. Okay, and this gentleman hacks into the U.S. defense military computer, and he starts playing a chess with that artificial intelligence. Oh, actually, a chess, right? And then this artificial intelligence starts thinking they are at war. So it starts kind of taking over the system and try to launch a nuclear missile to the Soviet Union. And how does he stop this? Is by using games. He used tic-tac-toe to teach the artificial intelligence. Because if you play it right, there's no winning, right? If the others know how to play, and if you know how to play, no one wins. So in the end, artificial intelligence ran the game over and over and over and said, hey, guess what? By launching a nuclear missile, no one's going to win. So this is another example using games in a good way. And also, usually if you talk about serious games, Oregon Trail is known to be the classic of serious games. It's an off-the-shelf game that taught history. And also, it was used in school environment for students. And also, another example that is usually referred to as the classics of serious games is Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? And this is also an off-the-shelf product which was designed to teach geography.